What's happening, everybody? We welcome you to the late night fantasy goodies. It is Ethos After Dark Fantasy NBA today. Rick Kamla and Steve Alexander, aka Dr. A, FSWA Hall of Famer. And we are going to take you through tonight's games. We're going to look ahead to Tuesday night's games. The NBA Cup is back. We got all the fantasy goodies for you, man. So get your questions in right now. We'll answer them as we move along here and get to the good stuff. Before we dive in, I want to tell you about our awesome sponsors, Bet Online. They are the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen and react and monetize them live, all right? They got the largest selection of odds and everything from pro and college football, NBA, college basketball, Cooper Flag, NHL, UFC, and MMA. Head to Bet Online today to get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. Bet Online. The game starts here. All right, folks. So we begin with a look ahead at Tuesday night here. The NBA Cup is back. And, Doc, we got some big news on the Phoenix side, and we'll start with Phoenix and the Los Angeles Lakers. Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal are both going to return for this basketball game, which is huge news in fantasy and in reality, because in reality, when the Phoenix Suns have Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal playing the way they are playing this year, they're a legit championship contender. So they're back. Kevin Durant right now is 10th in Basketball Monster 9-cat value, 10th. Bradley Beal is 33rd. Bradley Beal is having a year, y'all, and Booker's like 25th or something like that. They've got 3 of the top 33 guys. So, Doc, I bring you back on that note, man. Let's talk about Phoenix and the Lakers here a little bit. Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal are back.
Yeah, well, welcome back, guys. I still don't trust Bradley Beal. I don't think Bradley Beal is going to be a top 33 guy by the time this is all said and done. But when he's on the court, it gives Phoenix a chance to beat anybody in the league. So, I mean, that's good for Phoenix. I'm interested to see if Royce O'Neal can keep things going. He finally made some shots in his last game, I believe. And then Tyus Jones is always like quietly lingering in the background, like being a serviceable point guard. But stinks for Oso Iguodala that all those guys are back, but maybe Grayson Allen will make an appearance tomorrow.
Doc, to that point, all right, we give you streamers and the occasional against the spread advice on these look-aheads, all right? And you tell me, I went through Phoenix, I went through the Lakers. I don't see a streamer in this game. And I have a streamer for all 4 other games or 5 games on Tuesday night. I don't have a streamer for this game, Doc. Like, I don't look at Dalton Connect as a streamer anymore. Okay, maybe his percentile on Yahoo makes it, but he doesn't feel like a streamer to me. And then you've got Rui Hachimura, not really a Rui guy. D'Angelo Russell, you know I'm not a Russell guy. And then on the and on the Phoenix side with Beal and Durant coming back, you know, that squeezes the O'Neals and the Grayson Allens and all those types of guys. I don't have a streamer for this game, Doc.
If I had to pick one, I would go with Royce O'Neal. He's going to get 28 minutes and he's going to get shots up. I think he's your best bet. And if you're in a shallow league and Dalton Connect is not rostered, then that's your streamer. But outside of those 2 guys, that's all I got.
Yeah, and Connect, like, you know, you agree.
Connect should be rostered everywhere.
It depends on your league. He should be rostered everywhere, but maybe he's 50% your league, which would make him a streamer in that regard. All right, Doc. So I do have a betting spread take here on LA and Phoenix, and it's the only one I have for these 5 games. Like I said, I'm very choosy. I'm 6-3 so far ATS, and it's not because I'm picking them, Doc. It's because I'm not picking too many. Do you know what I'm saying? We're being very quality over quantity here. And so, you know, there are some nights where we don't have any of these releases for you, but I have one tonight. I like the Suns -1.5 tomorrow. They're at home taking on, of course, the Los Angeles Lakers. Few reasons here, Doc. The Suns are going to be energized by the return of Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. And a lot of times when a guy will come back, I fade that team that night because a big guy comes back and they got to refigure out the rotation and shot distribution, and it throws dudes off, okay? And so, but you can't just use a rule for everything. There are some times, Doc, where you have two guys out, two main guys, and the team is just like losing every game. Like Phoenix is just not the same. So getting these guys back, I think is going to be a shot in the arm. And I don't think it's going to be a negative in the reslotting of the rotation. I think it's going to be like angel singing. Oh, Durant and Beal are back. All right, one angle right there. It's a home game. It's an NBA Cup game. It's Lakers Suns. It's a big old game, okay? Footprint Center is going to be on fire. The Lakers are not a good road team at all right? They have losses at Memphis, at Detroit, at Cleveland, at Phoenix. They've gotten a couple of road wins, but they're against bad teams. The Lakers are not in a good way right now, Doc. They're not. They just got trucked by Denver in a let go of the ropes special that it was embarrassing. They got blown out and they quit. A very Suns-like in the playoffs thing to do, coincidentally enough. Denver had their way with them, and they lost the previous game. So LA has now lost 2 in a row. I just didn't like the feel of that team. Okay, maybe they galvanize, but to me, Phoenix is going to have more of a boost and more thrust getting their guys back. LA's coming off of this trucking, and now they're going into Phoenix. I think it's a good spot for the Suns. And one more thing here, Doc, on why I like the Suns -1.5 tomorrow. The Lakers got rich off of the poor, Doc. They had a 6-game winning streak. Okay, go to their game. It's all bad teams, and it's all teams missing guys. Like they beat Memphis without Ja Morant, for an example. Okay, so LA's not as good as their record says they are. And Phoenix is getting their guys back. So Doc, that is my ATS release here for Tuesday night. I like the Suns -1.5.
I'm with you. I mean, they have 3 guys in the top 33 in fantasy. LA doesn't have that. Phoenix is at home. I agree with you. I think getting those guys back is going to energize them instead of hurt them. I think if Phoenix doesn't win this game, I'll be surprised.
That is Steve Alexander, a.k.a. Dr. A. I'm Rick Kamla. We are Fantasy NBA Today, Ethos After Dark. I'm just going to give you like the NBA Cup ramifications here, okay? The Lakers come in 2-0, first place in their group. Of course, the same group as Phoenix. Phoenix is 1-1 and in 4th place. Way bigger game for the Suns than the Lakers. The Lakers can lose, become 2-1, and still be very much in the running for the top 8 teams, okay? Only 8 of the 30 make the knockout round. If Phoenix loses this game and falls to 1-2 with an L to the Lakers, they're probably not going to be in the knockout round, okay? So in terms of the NBA Cup, there should be more motivation on the Phoenix side than on the Lakers side. Houston at Minnesota, Doc. Very interesting and should be an entertaining game. We get Anthony Edwards against Dillon Brooks. That is going to be worth the price of admission right there. Dillon Brooks is going to be in foul trouble, but he's going to try to, and at times be successful in taking a bite out of Anthony Edwards. But, Edwards ain't taking anything from anybody at any time, and Dillon Brooks is going to bring the thunder to whoever he's guarding. So that's going to be awesome theater. My streamer for this game, Doc, is Jaden McDaniels. And I'm on a Jaden McDaniels thing right now. He's still, if you want to roster him, cool. But if you're in a Yahoo league where you've got your starting lineup and you've got 3 bench guys, I'm more of a churn and burn. Okay, like on a weeknight, I'm going to drop McDaniels and I'm going to pick up somebody else to just accumulate some counting numbers, man. So I still have him in the streamer category, Doc, and he's my streamer from this game. How about you?
Well, I mean, I'm going back to the well that we always go to. Tari Eason, Amen Thompson. Those are the guys. Dillon Brooks can also get loose and do stuff occasionally. He had a big game a couple games ago. And Jabari Smith is either going to score 4 points and make you really, really mad, or he's going to score 27 and make you really, really happy. It's akin to playing the lottery. you're better off playing the lottery actually than trying to figure out if Jabari Smith's going to go off. But if Tari Eason is still sitting out there in your league, make sure you play him.
Oh, Tari or Ahmed? If somebody's out there, man, they're both on waivers. Who should I pick up? Who do you say to that?
I say Tari.
I say Ahmed. I think Ahmed is more. I think he's going to get more minutes. I think he's more versatile in terms of positionality because he can play point guard. It's a dice roll, but I would, if they're both out there on waivers, I would go get Ahmed. NBA Cup ramifications here, guys. Houston is 2-0, first place in their group. They're my little team that could. And you've got Minnesota at 1-1 in fourth place. Okay, so like the Phoenix thing, Minnesota's got to win this game. Houston has a luxurious. Okay, we can still lose, but they're snacking on nails. Houston, they're coached by Ime Udoka. They're not going to like take the foot off the gas. I'm just saying. It's in terms of like what's at stake in the NBA Cup. It's a bigger game for Minnesota than it is for Houston. Would I bet on Minnesota? No, I don't trust them right now. Okay, I just don't. All right, Doc. Chicago at Washington, and I've got a streamer for you, and his name is Matas Buzelis. I like Matas Buzelis, Doc. I liked him in the pre-draft process. Okay, he reminded me of like a poor man's Chet Holmgren. I know the poor man's thing, and people like a low-key Chet Holmgren, like whatever little adjective you want me to put in front of there. But I got Chet Holmgren vibes because he can stretch the floor with a three. He can put the ball on the floor, like pound jam on you. He's a shot blocker. He's a lob catcher. He's a terrific player. Plays with a mean streak. Okay, he's trying to flex on you. Like he's that dude. I'm a fan. Okay. He comes off of a game, Doc, of 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 2 threes. All right. Okay. Not the Rocky Mountains. Okay. We're not talking about Mount Everest right here, but it was a breakout game for him. Played like 29 minutes. The Chicago Bulls, to me, should be very, very incentivized to play Matas Buzelis. Okay. So, develop while you're trying to win. Why not? And I think he may be a staple in this rotation moving forward. With Patrick Williams, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But he is my streamer right here, and somebody that I think people really need to monitor in terms of picking him up off the waiver wire. So Chicago at Washington, Doc. Where are you at, and who's your streamer?
Well, almost the entire Washington team is streamer worthy. Alexander Sarr, last game, 17 points, 14 boards, a steal, 2 blocks, a 3 assists. Like, make sure that dude's not on your waiver wire. Jordan Poole is iffy for this one. He missed the last one. Keyshawn George, 15 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, two triples. When Jordan Poole's not playing, Malcolm Brogdon is going to play. 15 points, 5 assists last game. Bilal Coulibaly still hanging around, 70 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, steal, 2 blocks, 2 threes. Like, that's what you want from Bilal Coulibaly. Like, will he do it again? I have no idea. And then my guy, Corey Kispert, coming off the bench, had 15 points, 3 triples, couple boards, steal. There's literally a ton of streaming options in Washington.
There are, man. There are.
And Bub Carrington. Are we worried about Bub Carrington? Are we dropping Bub Carrington?
Yeah. Well, I dropped him in a league tonight as I was going through my lineups. It wasn't like a deep league. If I'm in a deep league, I'm not dropping Bub Carrington, but it was, just a Yahoo Public League, Doc, where you got your starting lineup plus 3, 10 or 12 team league. I'm like, I forget who I picked up for him, Doc. So many leagues, but I went out and made him. I think I got Marcus Smart for him because Smart's playing tonight, and I don't know what the hell I did, but yes, I dropped Bub Carrington in a league. So he is not. Guys, we're seeing, look, Scottie Pippen Jr., Doc, you saw his line tonight, okay? He did nothing with Ja Morant back. Look, when you get guys like this, Doc, they're terrific young players, okay? And Scottie Pippen's farther along his pro journey, obviously, than Bub is. But when you take these bench players and you extend them like this, there's a law of diminishing returns. And at some point, some fatigue sets in on these guys because they're not 30-minute per game guys typically. And I think that may be happening with Bub, maybe a little early rookie wall. But all right, let's move on here, Doc.
Yeah, just real quick. Well, Washington is 2-13.
2-13.
Bub needs to play. I don't care. Why are we running Malcolm Brogdon out there for a 2-13 team?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because they need to showcase him. Teams need to watch him play, and then Washington can trade him. That's what they should be doing at least.
Okay. Moving on.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Why are you playing the vet? But it's not Detroit where they're trying to win with a win tomorrow team. Hopefully that's the thought, Doc, is that we're showcasing him for a trade. Anything else on that, Doc? Or are you ready to move on?
Move on.
All right, dude. Milwaukee at Miami. Talking about these NBA Cup games coming up on Tuesday night. Doc, this is going to be a very, very good game because both of these teams are playing better basketball right now. Miami's on a little bit of a heater. Milwaukee's on a little bit of a heater. You're watching them. I'm watching them. Our great audience is watching them as well. And they look the part now. They're starting to look like the teams, especially Milwaukee, that we thought they would be. Okay, Denny Green style. May he rest in peace. But for Milwaukee, the problem is, Doc, they've been getting healthy at home. They have a great arena up there. They have a great fan base up in Milwaukee. And they're a very good home team. And they are a dreadful road team, Doc. They have one road win. The Milwaukee Bucks have one road win, all right? They're at Miami. And so game on. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. My streamer for this one, Doc, is Gary Trent Jr., who I believe a lot of people, after the slow start, had the little injury, coming off the bench behind your guy, Andre Jackson. That's a joke. And now he's coming off the bench, right? So I think a lot of people dropped Gary Trent Jr., moved on with their lives. All right. Boom. He is rolling here, guys. Double digits the last 5 games. He had 16 points with 4 threes in his last game. He's a talented player. Do not forget that. He's OG Anunoby-esque in terms of stat line with the double digits, in the teens with the points, and he gives you steals, he gives you threes. So he's my streamer tomorrow night.
Well, Scary Terry Rozier is due back, which is bad news for Tyler Hero, who's kind of been on one. Tyler Hero's been hot. He's been cooking. Some guy named Pelle Larson went off for the Heat last game against the Dallas Mavericks. Hit 6 of 8 shots in a three-pointer, 14 points, 5 boards, a steal. Am I going to stream Pelle Larson? No. Alec Burks had 15 points. No. I don't really see any streamers from the Miami side. I guess if you wanted to take a flyer in a deep league on Pelle Larson for him to do it again, the guy played 37 minutes in that game. And I don't really know why. I think Haywood Highsmith was in foul trouble. If you're in a deep league, you want to take a flyer on Pelle Larson, who Spo really likes. Do it.
He's an Arizona product, played down there. I don't know if he overlapped with Mathurin. He might have. Koloko was down there. They've sent many players to the NBA in recent years, but he popped from time to time in college, Doc. I know who he is. Oh, Pelle Larson's on Miami. I'm not blown out of the water that he's having, moments in big games. I'm surprised it's happening this early. I'm surprised he's getting the minutes he's getting this early, but it's Miami, dude. What do? They're great pickers and great developers, right? They find who's better at finding diamonds in the rough than the Miami Heat? I don't think anybody is. I think they're the best in the league at finding diamonds in the rough. Tyler Hero was a diamond in the rough. Bam Adebayo was a diamond in the rough. These guys, think about it, Doc. At Kentucky, Bam Adebayo was just a guy. He was a raw prospect big. Tyler Hero was like talented, but did you see 25-5 in the NBA when you watched him at Kentucky? I didn't. So Miami, they're kick ass at that. They're
No,
great
but
at that.
I just saw Steph Curry hit like a 40-foot 3-pointer.
The best celebrations in our sport. Like he's just doing
laying on his back, doing
Steph Curry, man. He's the Ocho Cinco of the NBA. He is minus he's like a drama-free Ocho Cinco. I'm just making a celebration reference here anyway. Our great producer Andre Lemouche says Pell Larson's Swedish legend, Jonas Jerebko 2.0. I like the Jonas Jerebko reference right there. Okay, here's a question for Andre. Was it Jonas or Jonas? I know it's not Jerebko, it's Jerebko, but was it Jonas or Jonas? Jonas. Okay. Is he still playing? Andre, is he still playing over in Europe? He's retired now. Jonas Jerebko. Good name from the past right there. All right, Doc, in terms of NBA Cup ramifications here, Milwaukee's 2-0, first place in their group. Miami is 1-1, third place in their group. So this could be a battle for first place. Milwaukee loses their 2-1. Miami wins their 2-1, and Miami would have a win over Milwaukee. Big game. This is going to be a fun one, I promise you. And then, Doc, we have San Antonio at Utah. Wemby is back. Markkanen is back. Kessler, is back. And I think this is going to be a really entertaining game, Doc. I do. Keldon Johnson is questionable for this game. As we hit the air here, we don't know if he's going to play or not. For San Antonio, big NBA Cup game. They're 1-1. They're in second place in their group. The Jazz are 0-2 and in fifth place. And this is not a big NBA Cup game for them. There are no big games for the Utah Jazz, okay, until they flip the switch of competitiveness. But what strikes you with San Antonio and Utah?
I think Filipowski is out for this one. And
he's been hurt. He's been hurt.
Johnny Juzang played 17 minutes, had 12 points, 3 boards, 2 assists the other night. I mean, maybe he's a thing. I have no idea. I don't see any streamers.
I can't.
I don't see any streamers.
I didn't hit you with any because I don't either. I can't get behind Johnny Juzang, bro.
I'm not telling people to go run out and pick him up. Just saying he had a good game against the Knicks, and the Jazz actually trounced the Knicks on like Saturday.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, man, Julian Champagnie may be available in your league. Go get him.
Yeah, again, we don't look at him as a streamer anymore, but he would qualify, I guess, to a lot of people as a streamer. They don't have anybody else. Zach Collins is now unrosterable with Wemby back, and Mamu and Branham and Wesley. You're not going to even stream these guys. Their starting five is, maybe Harrison Barnes is a streamer, Doc. Okay, like I don't know what his rostered is, but I would look at him as a streamer. Although it's got to be situational with Harrison Barnes, right? Previous game, 22 with 8, 7 of 8 against 2 Golden State, his former team. All right, get Harrison Barnes up against the Mavs. What does he do? Drops the bomb on them. All right, this game right here is just a game. This is San Antonio playing. I'm in the box score here. I forgot Utah.
But Harry Barnes is playing a lot of minutes every night. So, I mean, if he's available and you need somebody, you need a warm body. Like he's probably the best one out of these two teams to throw out there. Let's see what he's rostered at. I can find it real quick.
So as you pull that up, so let me complete this point.
21%.
So he's a streamer. This was kind of my point with this. I agree. I think he's the best streamer from this game. I'll phrase it like that. Is he the best streamer of the night? That's probably better. But I think he's a solid streamer. Okay. But here's the point. He's not going to have the super pop game. He's not going to have the 21, the 27, the 25. He might have 15, You know what I'm saying, Doc? But he's not going to have that motivation of playing against a former team that amplifies his game. He's just going to be out there doing a Harry Barnes game. Okay. So that's going to be like 12, 13, 14, 15 points. Again, he's a solid streamer. Just don't expect the pop game just happened. You missed it. But don't fret. Like, you're just going to get a solid, okay streamer game. You're not going to get the pop game. You know, Doc, how I do. It's when you go boom, way up here, you're coming back down, baby. You just are in that next game, unless you're LeBron or Durant or somebody of that ilk. All right, Doc, go ahead if you had something to say right there.
I was just going to say, Harry B should be a serviceable streamer. Serviceable.
Yeah, he should be, man. So ladies and gentlemen, want to tell you that if you're enjoying the show, the best way to support us is by subscribing to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. Download all of our episodes. There you will also find special episodes that are not live. And we are Fantasy NBA Today. It is Rick Kamla. It is Steve Alexander. So we will be here, obviously, with the breakdown of Monday Night Slate. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to do it here in just a little bit. But there you go. There is your Tuesday night NBA Cup look ahead. Rick Kamla and Steve Alexander. Big thanks to our producer, Andre Lemouche. And we are presented by Bet Online.